I think to everyone it's a little different, but to me, acting it's my pride and joy. It's what I do when I'm bored. It's what I do when I sleep. It's what I do when I eat. I'm just thinking of how would I do this in a different character. I feel like sometimes it's a bit obsessive, but acting for me is in everything.
Well, it depends how hard you want to work. Being an actress can be really easy if you want to do like a half-done job, or if you want to put all you can into it. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's like acting takes more energy and focus and like strength and emotion than any sport I've ever played or anything I've ever gone through. Acting is like more emotionally straining than anything.
Situations like that, for me, it's more of get up there and do what you're gonna do at the best that you can, better than any time you practice, just so that they can see the level of that you want to see yourself as. You know what I mean? If you don't see yourself good as a good actor, and you go up there, you're not gonna be a good actor. You gotta produce the confidence.
It's okay. We have some back.
Wait, Drew, yeah, you're black.
If you like it, then you. If I like it, I can't do that. No.
If you move over here, you get the next meeting. Okay. All right.
Who waits for others to notice her and gaze upon her in astonishment? Then what are you waiting for? Be astonished. Didn't you hear me? I said it was the more beautiful one who waits for the admiration of others. And I've told you, the more beautiful one is waiting. If I am not that one, then where is she? There are 3 people in this world, and they are all lost in admiration of me.
The way I like to treat auditions is I go into it obviously knowing most of the kids are going to audition fairly well at this point in the year. But I always like to start with something that'll let me see some new people.
And still care for them. My father chose old people as their guardians so that they'd be even more surprised when they meet each other. Today, for the first time, these young people will be given the freedom to leave their enclosures and meet one another.
A read-through is where all of the cast gets together for the first time. They get their roles, they get their script, and they read their roles, like, just to get a feel for their character, and it's really fun. We usually you get to know everyone else and get a feel for how their acting plays off of yours. And
why one you don't look?
But it's by looking that I find you rather ugly.
That's because you can't help but find me beautiful and you're jealous.
Rehearsal is 2 hours long, and that's state law, but also it seems to be a good length of time for high school rehearsal. And so we normally start with 5-10 minutes of warm-ups, and then depending on what the agenda is for the day, crew will be working on whatever their assignments are, whether it's making costumes or back in the shop, while we work whatever point we are in the show. And I usually like to wrap up the last 5 minutes reserved to kind of talk about questions or concerns, or here's the schedule, where we're going from here. But a typical rehearsal, I mean, it's hard to say typical because it always depends on what the show needs at that particular moment. Performance day, we always have call for actors and crew 3 hours before curtain. It's just the standard time we use. And so depending on how much makeup a given actor has, how long the costume takes to put on, it's up to them to how they need to use that. But warm-ups always start an hour before curtain. So whatever they have to do, as long as they're in position ready to warm up in the space, an hour before curtain. And then we let the audience in 30 minutes before curtain. So everyone has to come back, and we have our good show traditions and things that we do back in the drum room before the show actually starts. A lot more stressful my first few years doing this. As you get more into the routine of it, now this being my 8th year, it's considerably less stressful than it was because I kind of know what's coming more. There's less that can surprise me. I know how to handle some situations that might arise better than I would have in my first few years. But it's always stressful. Always that fun opening night jitters. The same thing actors get, I get as a director, waiting for the curtain to open on an opening night especially. And so I don't know if it's stress, but it's more of that kind of nervousness that we love when we do live performance.
It's just like you want to be the best person that you can be to everyone else, and be like, you want to be polite, you want to be nice, but on stage you want to be the best character that you can be.
In it, and it's like, that's so awesome. Like, you've been working for this moment, and you finally get to show it to people, and it's like, that's what you've been trying to work for the past couple months, and it's like, it's an amazing feeling.
If you could describe theater in one word, what would it be?
Home.
Extravagant.
Interesting.
Family.
Family.
Family.